John Henry Newman and John Wesley were influential religious figures in their day. Immersed in controversy in their own times, their ideas of God's revelation live on today as part of the foundation of modern theology. Throughout this documentary, you will come to understand these inspiring theologians' foundational views.
John Henry Newman was a bishop in the Catholic Church following his disillusionment with Anglicanism. From his Catholic position, he espoused the merits of orthodoxy and produced quite a body of literature to clarify the position on the Church of numerous issues. Newman's conversion from the Anglican Church to the Roman Catholic Church brought great prestige to the Church and led to the development in both doctrine and church government. He founded the Catholic University of Ireland, now known as the University College Dublin, which is the largest university in Ireland. His influence on Catholicism, the largest religious denomination in the world with over 1 billion followers, has changed Catholic teaching over the past 200 years. His beliefs have especially affected the ways Christian views revelation. Newman believed that God's revelation to humankind is evident all around us. It is evident through the truth in the Scriptures. That revelation is also evident through the glory of creation, and even through our very consciences, God reveals God's self.
Newman rejected the Protestant belief that Scripture is the only source of true revelation. By looking at history and personal experience, Newman claimed that knowledge of God could be gained, and that knowledge was confirmed through miracles and fulfilled prophecies. God's ultimate revelation was the gift of His Son, Jesus the Christ. Newman believed Jesus is revealed through the Scriptures and tradition, and that knowledge of these two sources of truth can lead to a personal knowledge and real apprehension of God, that is, the ultimate revelation of God's self.
John Wesley was an Anglican devoted to reform. After his death, his followers started the Methodist Church and still profess his doctrines to this very day. Wesley was a staunch advocate of Arminianism. Arminianism is the belief that God's grace is freely available to all people. This belief is directly contradictory to the theology of Calvinism, which emphasizes predestination. The fundamental beliefs of Arminianism are reflected in his work. He continually emphasizes the concepts of free will and frequently denounces the precepts of predestination. This position is foundational to his beliefs about God's revelation. Wesley understood God's revelation to humankind on many different levels. He affirmed God's omnipotence and that God chooses to reveal God's self through subordinate means. The whole of creation is therefore a testament to God's existence and inherent goodness. One part of Wesley's understanding of God's revelation is Scripture. He regarded Scripture as authoritative on matters regarding God. Since he viewed Jesus as the supreme revelation of God's will, he took Scripture very seriously indeed, especially the Gospels.
This emphasis on Scripture is evident in Wesley's sermons. Every one of his published sermons was published with a scriptural reference. By setting a personal example of the importance of Scripture, he emphasized the revelation of God in each word of the Bible. The fundamental key to Wesley's view of revelation is grace. He believed God's grace is offered freely to all of humanity, and that God personally reveals himself to those who accept it. Wesley also believes that revelation is accessible through prayer and contemplation and the administration of the sacraments. The personal revelation of God is available constantly to all people, according to Wesley.
Newman and Wesley agreed that God reveals God's self through creation. The beauty and intricacy of nature left both churchmen deeply in awe, for they both concluded that it points unequivocally to God's hand. They also agreed that Jesus is the ultimate revelation of God to humanity.
They disagreed, however, on the significance of Scripture and personal revelation. John Wesley dismissed personal experiences if they did not align with the Bible. John Henry Newman held personal experience as the pinnacle of God's revelation, regardless of its compatibility with Scripture. They both supported the view that a personal revelation with God is key to understanding God's revelation in general, but the controversy betwixt them is centered on the validity of that experience.
Wesley and Newman were both foundational theologians. Their work has produced a legacy which endures to this very day. Wesley advanced the cause of Arminianism through his prolific writings. Newman proved to be the champion of the Catholic Church needed during the mid-19th century. Christianity has benefited from the works of these two dedicated men. Their works will continue to influence the minds of theologians for years to come.